Hello, and welcome to Twin Study After Dark. I'm your host, Sallie, joined by my co-host, Katie. We're identical twin sisters. We invite you to join us as we investigate our similarities and differences in all things life has to offer. Hello, and welcome to Twin Study After Dark Friday Feedback. Again.
Yeah, there's Lemon.
I'm your host, Sallie, joined by...
And I'm her husband, Adam.
And Lemon, our cat, just walked in front of his screen. I don't know if anyone is watching that will see that, but hi, Lemon. So where are you joining us from?
Away. So
Are you in our...
I'm at our house in our bedroom. We have the twins are sleeping, and Susie's downstairs. We just made sugar cookies.
Yeah, and I'm at Katie's house right now with the boys, and they're playing video games right now. So me and Adam are trying out the headsets and just practicing the interview thing because we are going to be having guests join us virtually. So Adam is the first guest because we are just seeing if this even works.
A little bit of a guinea pig, but so far it's working.
Yeah. So far we think it's working. We'll see if it gets if anything
if you
goes
can't hear
wrong.
one of us, then we'll figure that out later. But
Exactly. Yes. So thank you, Adam, for joining us today. I know Katie and I talk about you every single episode, so you are the most famously named person on our episodes. You have high standards to live up to because I feel like we're usually saying nice things about you. But I just want to assure you, be nice and don't be afraid to speak. And Adam gets nervous easily, so I'm just I'm nervous for him, honestly.
I'm also an introvert, so shout out to the introverts out there. So this is a little anxiety coming, being out there, put myself out there. But
he's a recovering people pleaser, as am I. But I think that you have more you're still trying to work through saying things without hurting people's feelings and stuff, So I told him before this, I'm like, just go take a shot and talk freely and be yourself. But it's a process for both of us, I think. But I think I have more practice in it. Clearly, I'm doing this all the time. And you're just joining today.
Very first podcast. Thanks for having me on your show.
Yes. Thanks for editing it with me. So as everyone knows, hi Lemon. As everyone knows, I wonder if he hears me.
Oh, I'm wearing headphones. I don't think so.
Oh,
he's just curious. He's just curious what's going on, I think.
Yeah. Adam, he is just as involved in this podcast as Katie and I because he helps us edit it. So he deserves to be the first guest. So anyway, we're going to do Friday feedback today. Our topic earlier this week was twin flames, soulmates, and past lives, as well as Man or Bear, the TikTok that's going around. So I just wanted to start by asking you about the twin flames, soulmates, past lives. Do you think that you ever had a twin flame? If you think through your relationships in life.
Yeah, I was listening to the podcast. I don't know if I've had any of that kind of really intense, high burning relationship. I don't know if it's just because I'm a pretty mellow guy, so I never got there. I don't know, but I don't think I really had that experience like kind of what you guys were describing.
Yeah, we recorded the podcast before I read a book by a psychic medium who will be joining us. She is a psychic medium, but also a beautiful, beautiful writer. And I read her book, and I can't wait to tell you more when she comes on the podcast. But anyway, she has a chapter on twin flames, and she talks about that there is always a sexual attraction between the two. So I know on our podcast earlier this week we were saying, oh, can it be friends? Can it be your children? And since then, I've kind of learned I think it has to be a romantic-ish relationship. Because throughout the week, people have been texting me and they've been like, I think you're my twin flame, or, oh, I know who my twin flame is. It's my best friend and stuff like that. And I'm really interested to get her opinion when she comes on the podcast, because right now I'm like, oh no, maybe twin flames are just romantic relationships.
Yeah, just like a physical romantic relationship. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so in that regard, what's that?
I said I don't think I've had that kind of experience. personally to experience it, but I could definitely see how that would happen. So
Yeah.
just that highs
Um,
and lows and a lot going on.
so I think everybody knows from listening to the podcast that I have always been a serial dater. I've always dated a lot of people. Adam, would you like to explain your past romantic history to everyone just in a
Well, it's not
brief?
very long, so no, I was more the slow. I had a few long-term relationships, but yeah, not much in that department. So single
Yes.
for a few years in between every usually. So
I just like to say you're just more intentional about who you get into relationship with.
that's a
But
nice way to
that
put it. Yeah.
yeah. So
Hopefully
I
that
don't
wasn't
know.
intimidating based off of your experience. So.
What?
Hopefully that wasn't intimidating as you mentioned in your podcast. So um,
Oh no, not at all.
yeah,
No. You never intimidated me. But I
no,
think
that's good.
that that's because we're going to get into soulmates, but like I truly believe that you're a soulmate of mine and you always came with like a level of comfort. Like I never felt like uncomfortable to hide who I was or dress a certain way or even I remember like the first time we like hooked up, it was the first time I wasn't like nervous with someone seeing me take off my clothes. Like I was just like I just was so comfortable with you.
hmm
So, in soulmate wise, what is your philosophy on that?
Well, obviously you're definitely one of my soulmates. So I definitely agree with you as well. I think like kind of the soulmates is more of that kind of like feel good. It's not really highs and lows. It's just kind of very easy, kind of like you said, just simple. You don't feel out of place. You don't feel like you have to put on a show or like, oh, I must respond to this text message. Oh, let's wait a break. You're not playing games and things like that. I think
Yeah.
um, just very natural, organic. It just kind of happens. It's not like anything happens. I think like the twin flame stuff like that's more that like butterflies and you get really excited and just like all about it. But yeah, I think soulmates is just kind of more of that like just slow, just like, we're just gonna go through life together kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that like for me, I was really addicted before I met you to the highs and lows of relationships because it was like sexy and exciting to like be fighting and then making up and all that stuff. But once you came into my life, I remember, yeah, never playing like games over texting. I was just like, oh, he texts me, I'll text him back right away. Like I didn't wait, because sometimes back in the day we used to be like, wait a couple hours or whatever.
Yeah. You get a number,
Um,
wait, 2 days before you text them kind of a thing. Yeah, like none of that. So
Yeah. Yeah, I remember there was none of that, and basically, it was just really comfortable, like, right away, and, yeah, I just felt safe, and it wasn't, like you said, like, firework well, it kinda was. I don't know, but we were friends for a year beforehand, so by the time we, like, ended up hooking up, I feel like it was kind of, like, overdue in some way because we did have, like, fireworks in the beginning, but I guess not at right when we met.
yeah, and that like I said, that kind of built that helped with that comfort level and just yeah, we already knew each other, so it wasn't anything crazy. So
Yeah, I feel like with soulmates, the cool thing is I feel like with us at least, and I really don't believe that people need to stay in your life forever, but I do think with us, it's cool because our path keeps being the same, because
hmm
I think some people can meet you and you're on the same path for a little while, and then eventually your souls are kind of like going on different paths, and hence breakups or divorces or whatever. But I do think like our life path has always been weirdly the same. Like even before we even got together, it was pretty similar.
yeah, I think exactly right. I think like our like I don't know stages of life, if you want to call them that or whatever, are kind of like
Hmm.
we've talked through that and how we like see like our when we be childs, when we're empty nesters, and when we do retirement. Like we kind of all have similar morals or ideas of where that is, even though we are pretty different in who we are as people. But I think
Yeah.
we kind of have a similar I don't know, moral ground. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, really, but just kind of a yeah, we agree our life's journey is kind of in sync, but then like we celebrate our differences and respect who we are as people.
Yeah. Like our journey is like really in sync. Even like I joked about being recovering people pleasers, like we're
hmm
so different. Our personalities are so different, but we've struggled with some of the same challenges. And it's like kind of bonded us because we've been learning together how to
Yeah.
overcome some things. But I even think I remember when we were having trouble getting pregnant, and I was like, why don't we look into adoption? And you were all for it right away. And after we went through the process, I just looked back and I was like, he was the only man I've ever dated that we could have done this process together. And I think that soulmates too, they really like help complement each other, because part of that process was highly like financial, like mathematics and
Hmm.
paperwork and all that stuff. And then another part was like the actual like communication with people and building relationships. And I think together we just were like the perfect team. And I just don't think I could have had that with anyone else. So
Yeah.
even in that, that was huge for me. I was like, yeah, of course he's my soulmate, because I couldn't have done that with anyone else.
Yeah, I also think like part of that is like between the two Lemon's back. I think between the two of us, like we make each other better. Like I don't know if we could have individually would have done that without having each other, like I said, for support and backing and all that other stuff. So I think we were better together.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we definitely are
Yeah.
better together. In what ways do you think that you've changed since you've like been with me or been with a soulmate?
Well, I think the best thing is you really kind of shown like and really like loved me for who I am as a person, my individuality and like having me be myself and like that we kind of talked about that people pleasing a little bit, but kind of got rid of some of that and able to just focus on like what actually brings you happy, not like what are the steps you're supposed to take or what are you supposed to do in this situation, how are you supposed to respond here, things like that. It's like, well, how do you actually feel and things like that. Being able to see like my true character and who I truly am, and then making me see that because I was kind of blind to some of that, those aspects of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that definitely we've both evolved big time. Like even since last year. Like every year
Hmm.
we just both keep like evolving and growing. And again, I think with a soulmate, it's that just gradual growth. Whereas like
Yeah.
twin flame, it's like very, very quick, fast. You make some realizations and move on. And soulmates, I
Yeah.
think, kind of like are on the journey with you. Because I
Yeah.
know I
Exactly. Yeah.
believe in, oh, what?
Yeah. No. Yeah. It is definitely about the journey. Like I feel like it's more about like us going through like living, actually living life together. More of just like we're not just trying to focus on destination or saying we're going to make it when we're here. It's like no, how do we live life together and do live life to the fullest and celebrate each other along the way.
Yeah, no, because I do believe in multiple soulmates, and I think that all of our kids are soulmates with us, and I definitely believe like my I have a couple good friends that are soulmates of mine. So it's
Hmm.
just like really cool to think about. It's not just limited to that like one person like that rom-coms give you, there's like so
Yeah.
many people that are just meant to be in your life and meant to like help you in different ways and growing in different ways. Um what was my next question? Oh, what do you think you had a past life? Because I had feedback, and well, one second, I had feedback because I had some good texts come in that
Hmm.
people said that they shared their with their siblings the episode, and one of their siblings shared their past life, and it was like she did it, and she saw herself in Paris, like being strangled
Oh.
by a boyfriend, like it was a violent crime. And
Hmm.
I didn't have time to ask my friend like, oh my gosh, did she think that potentially she died from like choking beforehand? Like, does she have any fears around choking? Like I said, one of my other friends really doesn't like when people touch her neck, so we're like, you must have had something with the airways when you
Yeah.
were in your past life. But is there any like fears that you have or something that you think you're like, this might have been a past life of mine or something?
I mean, a few things come to mind. One, I always think I'm like the best gardener in the entire world, but I kill every plant. So I don't know if I was a farmer in a past life, or I'm sometimes
Yeah,
drawn to
that'd be
like,
so funny.
yeah, drawn to like that, or like nature and things like that. Like I don't, there's something about that that I always like. I like going on hiking and things like that, and being outdoors is great. But yeah, trying to have that green thumb, but yet I'm really bad at it. So I don't know. Maybe that's a lesson I'm
Yeah.
trying to learn in this life. I don't know, but maybe there was something there. Also, I'm pretty like want to be able to like be a provider for my family and things like that. So I have some money stress, a lot of anxiety about that. So maybe I was like, I don't know. either like a banker or like in the financial, or I was like really poor or like really struggling. And so like I want to like be able to have that sense of like, I don't know. But those are the two things that kind of come to mind
It's
of
hard
something
though
that could have
to
been.
Yeah, it's hard to say too because like some of those things, I wonder if it's just like how we grew up and were raised, like you know what I mean, like what our parents instilled in us type thing. Because
Maybe
I think like
society, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
I don't know, it's hard to think, but you don't have any like unwarranted fears or anything.
Uh, no, not too much. And like looking for like I know they say like birthmarks sometimes or like ways that I don't have any like crazy birthmarks or anything like an area where it might have been like shot or stabbed or something or anything. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. How about you?
Like I said, my birthmark on my back, I always think that
Yeah.
that was probably something. I think something with men because like like I've always been sensitive to like men touching me. I'm not a
Hmm.
fan. So I do think there might have been something with that. And it's funny because like every psychic I've ever seen always brings you up and says that we were together in a past life, like we shared a past life together, and that's why you feel so comfortable to me. But I was
Hmm.
thinking about it today and I was like, I wonder what we were. Like, were we just like brother and sister? Or because because it's funny because like now we're married, but there was just like an automatic comfort. And like I just felt like
Hmm.
I knew you as soon as I met you. And every psychic, I mean, you know me, I go to a lot of psychics. They always say that we shared a past life together. And I'm just like, I
Yeah.
wonder what we were to each other. Do you know what I mean?
We'll have to ask them see if they can figure it out. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I
yeah,
know.
it could be that or like I don't know. Yeah, knew each other. We were like neighbors or like Romeo and Juliet. Who knows? Could be something crazy. So
But like, if you loved each other already, I don't think you'd come back as lovers
true,
again. I don't.
true. My good friends or yeah, family,
Yeah.
cousins. Who knows? Yeah.
I was also thinking how both of us love Arizona so much. And then I was thinking of, when you just, like, I remember growing up in Wisconsin, I never felt at home in Wisconsin. Like, it just didn't
Hmm.
feel like me. And then when I went to Arizona, I was like, I feel home. Like, I feel at home. And even when I taught in China, I never thought wanted to go to China for any reason in my life, but I felt really comfortable. And
Yeah.
not everybody who taught with me felt like that. And I'm just like, I wonder if there's some places that you just lived in a past life and that's why on earth now you enjoy them, or they just feel more safe or comfortable to you.
Yeah, I had the same thing of just like my life experience. I've always moved out west. Like it's always like I've always gone out west, and then like family and people I've known have kind of brought me back to be closer to them. But like
Yeah.
naturally, I feel like I have like a pull to the west coast, be it California, Arizona, something out there. So I'm not, yeah, but it's
Yeah.
exactly the same thing. Maybe that's where I don't know, past life was
Well, if we shared a past life, maybe we were out west together because,
maybe where.
yeah, we are just like not East Coast people. Like, I don't care to visit anywhere on the East Coast. Like, we live in Florida now, but it's because
Hmm.
of our family, being close and the warm weather. We like the warm weather. But yeah, I'm not
Oh.
pulled to anything in the East Coast, really. Like, I
Hmm.
am so fascinated with the West Coast.
I know exactly
So
right there.
that's
Yeah,
kind
like
of
the mountain ranges, the wide open expanses. Yeah, I don't know if we had like I don't know. Maybe we're farmers out west. Who knows? So that could have
who
been it.
knows? I know. I got so many friends reaching out and they were like, we need to book a past life regression all together. We're gonna make it a
Yeah.
vacation. And I was like, I'm pretty sure there's probably past life regression people like specialists here in Orlando, Florida.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's one
But
downtown. Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
But all my friends were like, no, we're going to Arizona, or like, we're gonna make it like a very spiritual feeling,
Yeah,
like
New
Sedona
Mexico,
feel.
something crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, we got to start saving up because if I do a past life regression, I want you to because, like, I want to see what you're like. If they mix at all, that would be so
Hmm.
interesting.
And it seems like they've had to
Like,
at some point. So yeah.
yeah, I wonder if you see
Yeah.
that or if you just see, like, does the vision just go to like how you died? Or I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's yeah. Or even if there's anything at all, like maybe you're a new soul or an old soul. Who
I
knows? So
know. Can you
yeah.
imagine if you spent like $1,000 on a past life regression and like they do this heavy meditation and then there's just like nothing? You're like,
Yeah. Be
I'm a
like,
brand new soul.
well, you're the first one, so you have lots of lessons to learn. Huh? Okay. I think that's good to know.
That's so funny. I can't imagine. I'd be like, I'm like, this is ridiculous. I literally have no, I know nothing.
Yeah,
But
nothing's here. Yeah.
no, I think we both probably have past lives.
No, I think so too.
Supposedly we're in each other's past
Supposedly
life.
at some point we were together. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, well, thank you for being our guest. I mean, I think that's oh, how'd you feel about the man versus bear?
First off, that was crazy that there's two scenarios and you've lived both of them, so that's
I've
pretty
lived both
wild.
of them. And the
You've
thing is,
lived through both of them.
I didn't even remember that I lived through both of those. Like Katie brought it up and I was like, "Oh shit. I've actually been in both those scenarios."
Like both the situations happened. Well, I'm glad you made it through both of them, so that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Um, but no, I think it's yeah, I think it obviously makes sense. I mean, there's been times I used to live in a big city, and like I'd be walking down the road, and I'd see like females walk like across the street to like as I was just walking down the street normal, and to
Yeah.
me, and I was like I didn't even think about like I mean, growing up in the Midwest, I was kind of naive to it, I think, more than anything. But it kind of opened my eyes, and I was like, oh yeah, like I could like at 9, 10 o'clock at night because I worked in hospitality, I'd be getting out late and just walking down the street. Yeah, I could be scary to someone. They don't know what I'm up to, what I'm against. So definitely can see that for sure.
Oh, I was watching a TikTok today and it was a guy who was like saying he said, "Girl, your outfit's gorgeous," or whatever. And then the girl replies like, and she gets like nervous and she's like, "I have a boyfriend." And then he goes, "Girl, your outfit's beautiful." Like it changes more gay. He's like, "I had to turn on my gay more." And then she was like, "Thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you." And it's just like girls just have their guard up with men. I always tell Adam, like I go running and men will pull over and like ask for directions or like be like creeping up to be like, "Hey, have you seen something?" And I always tell Adam, I'm like, if you ever need an answer, and tell this to every man in your family, do not pull up next to a woman to ask her, especially if she's alone. Go
Yeah,
find a man because it freaks us the fuck out. Like,
yeah,
I literally sprint back home just because even when the conversation's over with this guy, like, or I'll like tap my headphones and be like, "I can't hear you," like pretend I can't hear. But I'm like, why doesn't every man know this? Like, do not go up to a woman. Like, that's
yeah. And,
creepy.
and it's crazy too because like I run pretty much the same routes and I've never been stopped or asked or like
That's
anyone's pulled up to me and
crazy.
asked anything. So it's just yeah, it's I mean, there's definitely a reason that it is scary and people have those because it unfortunately it happens.
So anyway, we're gonna wrap up there. Basically, our feedback this week was people saying they knew who their twin flame was, and I was like, okay, sounds good. And a lot of them were friendships, so I don't even know if that is. So I just think it is a tricky topic because I think
Yeah.
not everybody has a twin flame. I really don't think everybody has a twin flame, but
Like I
I
said,
do
I don't think I've had
encourage.
yeah, I said I
Oh
don't
yeah,
think I've had one, but I'm excited to hear your guests whenever they come on. So I'll
I
hear what they
know, me
say.
too. I know you've listened to her book while I've played
Hmm.
it, so you're just as excited as probably I am. But I do think everybody has soulmates, and I do think we've had past lives, and I'm excited to hear where like what those were.
Yeah,
But
I'll be on to
Adam,
that.
how was your first podcasting experience?
Well, I'm still just a little shell shocked and honored to be here. So
Are you
um,
nervous? You're talking so fast. Are you like super nervous?
probably, I mean, of course, yeah, I want to make this right. So no, I'm very honored, and it's probably shout out to the introverts out there. So public speaking is not my forte. So, but I'm honored to be here.
Oh, well, we won't have to ask you to come on any more than you want to. So, thank you for being here today. I hope that this recorded correctly. Everybody,
And you can hear both of us.
you finally got to meet Adam. He is behind all of this podcasting and a very supportive partner. So anyway, do you have any last words, babe?
Nope, that's it. Just thank you so much, and it's an honor to be on Twin Study.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for joining us for Twin Study After Dark Friday feedback. We'll be back on Monday. Woo woot. We'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi, everyone. It's Sallie. We're going to leave our story there for today and pick up next week on Twin Study After Dark. If you've enjoyed our podcast today, please rate, review, and subscribe. We'll meet again next week for more Twin Studies. Bye.